Beseder Gamor.
We're going to talk about Prague, or we're going to tell you about Tuesday night?
Okay.
What did we miss and what did you miss?
What?
What did you miss and what did we miss?
No, I just came back about an hour or two ago. It was marvetic. It's just such an uplifting experience.
Yeah, and that's what we told last time as well. 5,000 Irish evening goals, we've never seen that before. There's not a big crowd there.
I heard 9,000.
9? Thanks, 9?
Depends who you read.
Yeah, it's pretty good show.
And only an hour late.
What?
And only an hour late.
The organisation wasn't so good.
That's right. So they couldn't speak properly. They had to cut everything short.
Yeah,
Big shame.
Instead of going at 8, it started at 9.
Uh-huh.
We've never had such a day to go between 6, 7 o'clock. North West London.
Okay, Rabbi say it was just I was 36 hours in Prague with my Talmidim, the group that I went with. It was just we learned in the Altneu Shul from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then we davened the Marv. It was just it's Mardik. It's just very very moving. Then we went to the Besachaim this morning before it's open for the public, and we stood next to the Kev of the Maral. And we said Tehillim, and I mentioned the names that people asked me to mention. And then we went the afternoon to Resnitzstadt. We also were by the Noida Yudas Kever. It was just Murdik. Beseder Gomor. Yes. What's the story with the phone? No, I thought you wanted to say something like you did with your hand. That's what I asked. I thought you wanted to say that you saw something. No. Okay, fine. I thought with your movement of your hand, you want to say something. Beseder Gomor. Rabbi said, so hey, nice to have you back. Okay. Oh. Okay. So. Okay. Rabbi said, this is Mr. Dan Artman, the most popular math teacher in Hasmonean. Ask your sons; you'll find out. And he was with us in Prague. He was with us in Prague, and just came back. Maybe you want to tell the owner was asking me how was Prague. So what should I tell him? It was incredible. Rabbi said for next time I should tell the owner maybe a little bit in advance if anybody wants to join us. But Shana Abba, Be'ez Hashem.
I was there a few weeks ago, and Avi Wiedenfeld mentioned the story. He told him the night when he learned
With Ramesha.
the Moshe, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
He gave us a story.
Yeah. Oh, Rav Kaduri, Shalom Aleichem. Okay, Beseder Gomor. So we're all ready to go?
Yeah.
Fine. Beseder, Natchil. Beseder. Everyone has a sheet.
Yeah.
Gewaldig. Shkoyach to Rabbaruch that arranged the sheets for everyone. Toda Rabba. Rabbi, so let's start. And Mishpetzet Aleph. Vaydaber Hashem al Moshe Lemor. Nekom nikmas bnei Yisrael mesa midyanim achal te'asef al amecha. Take revenge of Am Yisrael from the Midyanim, and then you will die. Pasuk Gimel, Vaydaber Moshe la'am le'emor, hechaltzu mi'itchem anoshim latzava, get ready for war, v'yu al Midyan latet nikmas Hashem b'Midyan. So, HaKadosh Baruch Hu calls it nikmas b'nei Yisrael, and Moshe calls it nikmas Hashem. How do you explain this discrepancy? Says Rashi, nikmas Hashem, in Baksped, Sha'omed keneged Yisrael, ki'ilu oimed keneged HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Whoever, meaning Hainuach, it's the same thing. Finding Yisrael is finding HaKadosh Baruch Hu, finding HaKadosh Baruch Hu is finding Yisrael. That's what Rashi says. Nevertheless, would the Olam like to say a svara? How come in Pasuk Beis it's called Nikmas Bnei Yisrael, and Pasuk Gimel it's called Nikmas Hashem? If it's Hainuach, fine. But why the change? I'm sorry? Very good. So what do you want to say, Rabbi Yehuda? That what? Meaning HaKadosh Baruch Hu sort of speaks worried about our covet, right? Excellent Zushtel. Excellent Zushtel, Rabbi Yehuda is saying here. HaKadosh Baruch Hu calls that festival Chag HaMatzos, what we do. And how do we call it? Chag HaPesach, what Hashem does. Pe'ero alai, uferi alav. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying, hey, what about the Nekama of the Yiddish people? And Moshe Rabbeinu says, the Nekama of Hashem. Each one's attributing it to the other party. Fine.
Like tefillin.
I'm sorry?
Like the tefillin.
Like the tefillin? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Very good sushtas, Rabbi said. Now, Rabbi says, this is the third time that Rashi says this in Chumash. It's the third time. Let's see the first two times. So first of all, it's a pasuk in Tehillim, Kinei oivecha yehemayun. Right? The enemies of Hashem are human, are active, are excited. Umesanecha nasu rosh. And those who hate you are, how would you translate in English, nasu rosh?
Raise the heads over you.
I'm sorry?
And raise
They're raising their head against you. Al amchai, and what is it? Al amchai yarimu soid. V'yisiatzu atzunecha. They're fighting Am Yisrael. So you see that this pasuk Gimel is they're fighting Hashem, and what is the way that they're fighting Hashem? Al amchai yarimu sod.
It's a very fishy possible.
It's a what?
A very fishy possible.
Why is it so fishy?
Because you always say, remember, it's down the Gimel Dog.
Ah.
That's similar.
Okay, that's good. You know what Rabbi Baruch saying? Is that for shit? So share what Rabbi said. Share. Sharing is caring. Okay, it's pasuk Gimel and Dal, which is Oisius Dag. Shkoyach. So Rabbi said, look at when Rashi says it the first time. In Bakstalot, B'rov go'oincha taros kamecha, tishalach haroncha yachlem kakash. With your might and your taros, you're going to destroy kamecha. What does kamecha mean again? How would you translate it in English? Those who stand up against you. Who are the ones standing against Hashem? So says Rashi, taros tamila taros kamecha kamim negdecha. Umiyem hakamim kenegdo. Who are those that are standing up against Hashem? How do they do it? Elo hakamim al Yisrael. They're standing up against Yisrael. The Chenu Omer, and he quotes this fishy pasuk. Ki inei oivecha yehemayun, umay yehamaya. What are they planning to do? Alamcha yarimu sod. V'alzeh korah yisav oivav. So this is the first time, as far as I recall, that Rashi says, if you're fighting Yisrael, you're fighting HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he based himself on the pasuk of Tehillim. Ki inei oivecha yehamayun. This second time that Rashi says it, it's in a pasuk that we say in, let's give a look at Baksei. Vayibn Soharon v'yom Moshe. Kuma Hashem v'yafutzu oivecha v'yanusu misanecha mipanecha. Right? Says Rashi, on misanecha, elu sornei Yisrael. Who are the ones that hate Hashem? They're the ones who hate Yisrael. Shekol ha-sorneis Yisrael, sorneis misha'omar v'hoya ha'olam. He hates the one who created the world. Shene'emar, and here Rashi also quotes the fishy pasuk, but the Seifa. Instead of Hinei oivecha yemoyun, he's quoting the next three words. U'misanecha nasu rosh, u'mihem alamcha yarimu sod. Anybody want to tell me a svara? How come Rashi the second time is quoting the second part of the pasuk in Tehillim, and Rashi the first time is quoting the first part of the pasuk in Tehillim?
Well, the second time he says Soine is Misha Omar.
Oh, he's explaining the word misanecha.
Misanecha.
So therefore what?
in Tehillim goes Misanecha.
So he's quoting misanecha. Very good. And how come the first time he quoted the first part of the pasuk? Ki inei ovecha yehamayun. Those first four words. Because what does kamecha mean? Those who are standing against you. That's a very generic way. So he'll quote the beginning of the pasuk. Why should he quote the Seifa? But the second part is quoting Misanecha, so he'll quote the Misanecha. That's exactly what you're quoting, what you're looking for, right? Fine. But he gufa. How come Rashi
The pasuk before, it also says Oyev.
where? The pasuk before it said also Oyev, but Rashi skips it. Why did Rashi skip Oyevecha? Meaning, what's Yehuda saying? We have two Yehudas. Well, Hashem, maybe even more. Okay, yeah, also Yehuda. Atrit of Yehuda. We have three Yehudas. Baruch Hashem. Meaning, yes, Rashi is focusing on the word Misanecha. So says Arav Kaduri, he's going to quote the pasuk in Tehillim, which mentions Misanecha, which is the second part of the pasuk. Hinei oivecha yehemayun u'misanecha nasu rosh. If I'm focusing on Misanecha, I'm going to quote the Seifa. But he gufa, says the other Yehuda. Why are you focusing on the word Mesanecha? It says also Oivecha. So you should have stopped there. How could you be the enemy of Hashem? By being the enemy of Am Yisrael. That Rashi didn't say that. So the Maskil David, who's a commentator on the Rashi, says in Baksvam, give a look. Mesanecha elu soine Yisrael. How come Rashi wasn't bothered by Oivecha? The Bishlama Oivecha du Shem Bekinui. It's not a noun. It's not a verb, but it's a noun. Nicha. The Rotzelamar Oivim Shelcha. Your enemies. K'lomar she'atam machikam. Shem Oivim Tidach. Meaning, it doesn't mean they hate Hashem. Hashem hates them. Okay. Oivecha means Hashem hates them. I don't have any problem with that pasuk. Hashem may dislike those who are not Peseder. Right? I don't have the problem with the word Oivecha. Oivecha means Hashem treats them as Oivim. Why can't they say the same thing on Mesanecha? So then he says, V'achinami ilu avaktiv son echa, haynu mefashimam misonim didach. ולא היה צריך לפרש שונא ישראל. אבל מחר תקיף מסנך, שהוא פועל מהכבד, ורוצה לומר מסנאים אותך, meaning actively involved in sinah, וכך צריכים לפרש כלפי ישראל. I understand what he's saying is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu can hate someone, if he's a Rasha. But to actively build it and kochzach, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't do that. He hates it. He doesn't hate. Mesanecha is binyan PL. Binyan PL is, it's called binyan kaved, meaning much more actively involved. Actively involved, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not actively involved in sinah. If he hates someone, he hates someone.
Isn't it promoting hatred?
It's promoting hatred. And I guess I don't know if HaKadosh Baruch Hu promotes hatred. So here you can't say it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu doing it. Very good, Rabbi Nomi, the way you're pointing it out. Promoting hatred. So meaning, so when it says Oivecha, it means it's not from them to Hashem. It's from Hashem to them. That's okay. But Mesanecha means promoting hatred. That has to be people towards Hashem. How can people hate, in what way do they express their hate to Hashem? How do they do it? Hashem ein lo guf, ein lo musaguf. So how do you hate him? Hating Am Yisrael. Rabbi said, it's so no get to what's happening mamash these hours in the world. Look how relevant it is. The sin of Yisrael. Okay, Rabbi say. Fine. Could you say also Kamecha means it's from Hashem towards them? The other way around? A one-way street from Hashem? I guess also not. Kamecha means Hashem standing on them. Hashem doesn't stand on anyone. Or he kills them, or he doesn't kill them. Hashem, what?
It's in the plural.
Kamecha means the plural. Yeah, why can't it be Hashem is keneged many oivim? You can't say that? Why not? Taros kamecha. Kamecha, the many that are standing against you, you are destroying. So maybe again it means from Hashem towards them. Why do you have to say it means them towards us? Because I think the word kamecha means that they're standing. Hashem doesn't stand on someone. Like standing means like preparing to do something. Hashem doesn't have to prepare, he just does it. There's no need to prepare by Hashem. Okay, I'll say. We'll leave that a little bit beyond. But besides, so what are we coming out with? The Rashi says 3 times in Chumash. We have to work out maybe the word kamecha still. That whoever hates Yisrael is hating HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But in Pashas Ba'aloischa he called it Soine es Misha'omar V'haya Oilam. Remember this klal. Whenever Rashi gives names, not the real name or the more common name, there's a reason. How do you usually refer to Hashem? How do you usually call him? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Look at Misha'omar V'haya Oilam. Is that the way how you usually call Hashem? Yeah, you could. But what's the message? What's the message here?
This goes to the name Soine Yisrael, which is Soine Hashem. It's Soine the whole Bria.
So the whole Bria. Okay. What does that mean? By the way, even if it's true, what do I have to say that now? Is there any need to bring that out in the pasuk, or it's not adding another nakuda? Shama Bitzak. If you don't mind, you'll sit with Rabbi Yamin today. I don't think we have enough sheets, so you'll share with Rabbi Yamin. Sharing is caring. Or, good, fine. Shkuach, Rabbi Say. Rabbi Say, there's a murder in the Kuda here, which I want to explain. But before that, give a look what it says in Bak Zayin. Right. ואתם עדיי נאום השם ואני כל. כשאתם עדיי, אני כל. וכשאין אתם עדיי, אין אני כל. Look what this Sifri is saying. Everybody's like, look, it's unbelievable. If it wouldn't have been a pasuk, we wouldn't be allowed to say it. Look what it says there. It's a pasuk in Yeshayahu Perek Mem Gimel. Atem edei nu'um Hashem v'ani kel. You are my witnesses, and I'm your God. I'm God. Kishatem edei ani kel. When you are my witnesses, I'm God. Ukishein atem edei ein ani kel. Wow. I thought HaKadosh Baruch Hu was always kel. It's hinging on us. That's what it says in this Sifri. And the next pasuk carries something about Omer, Alecha nasati es'ini yoshvi b'shamayim, ilmanei ani lo ayit yoshev b'shamayim. Again, something about it's us. We are the important thing here. But let's focus on the first Rasha. B'zman shatem eidai ani kel. Keshatem eidai ani kel. Ukeshein atem eidai, ein ani kel. So Rabbi said, let's bring out this Nakuda, which obviously, whenever you say it, you got to say so to speak, 100 times. But at the end of the day, what are you saying? Look at the pasuk in Azino. Amarti efaem ashbita me'enosh licham. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying, I said already many times I want to destroy them and to remove their memory from mankind on Am Yisrael, but I'm not going to do it. You know why? Lulei kas oyev ogor. I'm afraid from what the grammar are going to be thinking. Pen yinakut saremu. Maybe they're going to die. Pen yomru yadenu rama. We did it. V'lo Hashem ha'al kol zot. So basically, we're coming here to a special point. After Cheta Egel, after Cheta Ragel, this pasuk in Azino, what's the message? Because Baruch was saying, I really wanted to destroy them many, many times, but I'm afraid what the Goyim will say. Isn't that a terrible insult? Well, let's be honest. There's really nothing positive to say about these people. But there'll be a Chil Hashem. You know, it's not good for Shidduchim. You ever heard that expression? It's not good for Shidduchim. You're right. You have no children Shidduchim. That means from the age of 12 onwards. It's not good. You got to behave. You're right, but it's not good for Shidduchim. That's what it sounds like. If you were davening for the sake of Am Yisrael, what would you say? They're Rachmanim, they're Baishanim, they're Gomli Chasadim. They're going to produce a Chofetz Chaim, a Vilna Gaon, a Maralmi Prague. I mean, they're really special. Don't kill them. They're wonderful people. In every neighborhood you have a Gmach from 1,000,001 types. And the tzedakah that you can do for each other. And the Gedolim just now came from I heard they raised 8 million pounds. Is that the number of percent? Did you hear that as well? What? What did you say? Richard, what did you say? What number? 10. Okay, Be'ezer Hashem. 10 million. Wow, they're wonderful people. They're Balei Tzedakah, Balei Chesed. No, you're not going to keep them alive? That the Goyim shouldn't say all kinds of things. You don't have anything nice to say about us? Just what will the Goyim say? Isn't it like insulting? But that's what Moshe Rabbeinu did twice. And this pasuk in Azinu brings out again. HaKadosh Baruch Hu talking. Amarti efaim, ashbisam enu zicham. I wanted to get rid of them a long time ago. Lulei kais oyev agur. I'm afraid what will be with the Goyim. Pen yirkutza pen yamru yadenu rama. We're strong. V'lo Hashem ba'al kozot. It's going to be a Chil Hashem. I'm not going to do it. And otherwise, I would have done it. Don't they have any virtue on their own merit? It's a kasha you could ask. Says the Ramban, the Rafuda, I'm going to first want to quote the Rafuda is going to say this point, and he ends with the word Ramban. And then we're going to look at this Ramban together. What's the pshat of this? You know who's the only one who sings our praises? The whole Chumash? Bilam. He's the only one that sings our praises. Matos olech Yaakov, Mishkenesach Yisrael, Kibor Rosh Mimerenu, Umikvot Asherenu, Hen Am Levadat Yishkonu, Bagoim Lo Yitchashav. The only one who says nice things about us is Bilam, who hates our guts.
But the Brit of Yaakov are wrong.
I'm sorry?
The Brit of wrong Avinu.
It never says our praises. It never says our praises. It
So I'm
says,
saying we're going to destroy. He might not be happy with us, but the bris is the bris. We haven't-
but he doesn't say that. Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't say because of the bris. He says, what about the Goyim?
So
Okay,
there's-
so we'll go on. We'll say it? We'll go on. We're speaking about Moshe Rabbeinu's taina. I don't want to kill them because of the Goyim. That's what he says. We got to deal with that. The Seder? Look at what Rav Hutner says. Now, Rav Hutner said Rav Hutner spoke Hebrew in a poetic way. And by the way, that's how he spoke also orally. When you spoke to him one-on-one, that's how he spoke. Really. Poetic. On the verge of poetry. Okay. So sometimes for English-speaking people, it's a little bit difficult. But don't worry. V'hinei b'parshat Ha'azinu ne'amar. He's quoting this pasuk. Amarti afa'em, ashbita menor zichron. Lulei ka'as oyev agur, pen yinakenu tzaremu, pen yamu yadenu rama v'goymer. Hashkafa rishona, which means the first glance, b'dvarim alalu, gozeleti et menuchato shel hamitbonen behem. A poetic way, it's very disturbing. Gozeleti, it robs your peace of mind of those who are looking into it. Ki lefia shel hashkafa azu nimtza, according to this outlook it comes out, ki kol tikvat yeshuatam shel Yisrael, the whole reason that Hashem is going to keep us and redeem us, tluyai, it's hinging al lachut on the string shel achshash pen yomnu. What would the Goyim say? ויוצא לפי זה כי כל עבודתה של כנסת ישראל בעולמה, all what Am Yisrael are working and doing, במסירות נפש על תורה ומצוות, אינה מצטרפת כלל למערכת הישועה של כנסת ישראל יושבת ומצווה לה. You know how come we're going to be redeemed and everything's going to happen and we'll be alive? Not because you keep Torah mitzvahs, because what will the Goyim say? ובוודאי כתאיתי השקפה כזו לגזול את מנוחתו של האדם המתבונן. It's truly very disturbing to understand that way. It's not, you know what's your schus? Not the Torah that you do, not the mitzvahs that you do. You know what's your claim to fame? What would the Goyim say if things won't go work out with you? You can't say that. גוזלת את מנוחתו של המתבונן. That's the Hebrew that he spoke. What does it mean, גוזלת את מנוחתו של המתבונן?
Obviously, your piece of mind.
It's taking away from you. What? The peace of mind. And what does gozelet mean? It's
Steal.
stealing. That's how he spoke. Between me and you know where he got it from? He had it on his own, but Rav Kook. It's special to me. That's how Rav Kook spoke. And he was on top of Rav Kook. He always would say the language is the levush of the machshava. You don't put tefillin in a paper bag. You don't. You put tefillin in a nice bag. You don't even call it bag. How would you call it? What?
Tick.
Tick, or in English? Bechobadek. You don't put tefillin in a plastic bag or a paper bag. What's the bag of our thoughts? The dibur. It has to be in a dignified dibur. It can't be in a low kind of speaking way. Something which is so. That's why he said this. The dibur is the levush of the machshava. It has to be a dignified levush, which is complementing or on the same level of the machshava itself. Dignified ideas should be expressed in a dignified lashon. Okay? I'll maybe say it first orally and then read it inside. That's only Hashkafa Rishayna. You know what Moshe Rabbeinu was really saying? The biggest compliment of Am Yisrael. It's not good for Shidduchim. That's not what he's saying. Meret in the gast. You heard that expression many times? Right, Rabbi Young? Meret in the gast? People will speak in the streets. Don't do it. Stille red. Right, even though these words everybody knows, right? I don't speak Yiddish, but I know these words. Pasnish. It's the biggest compliment of Am Yisrael. You know what Moshe Rabbeinu is really saying? Am I chet ha'ega, chet ha'ragim in this pasuk in Azinu? Kodesh Baruch Hu, if Am Yisrael is not here, you're not here. There'll be nobody who will acknowledge your existence. And then Mimela, they'll say whatever they want. The only ones who could represent you genuinely and truly are Yisrael. What happens if Chas V'Shalom Yisrael aren't here? So there will be Oil Mashiach. And the Goyim are going to say whatever they want, which will be your denial. The only ones who could represent you and answer back to what Ummah So'elim want to say is Yisrael. Through their Torah, through their mitzvahs, they are bringing your existence here into the world. But if they're not here, who's going to represent you? Nobody. And what's so terrible about that? There's a purpose of the Bria that won't be accomplished. Let's see how Rav says it. He's quoting the Ramban.
He's saying that because of the fact that Bnei Israel haven't kept up to the side of the bargain, there's no point to
No, he's not saying. No, he's not saying. Let's see. Amalamitos shel davar, right? Ein zo ela hashkafa rishona. Hashkafa hashniya, meaning the deeper look, mamidat mitbonen al hakara, puts you on acknowledging the following: Ki chashash pen yomu eino ela gilui pnimiyut ma'alatam shel Yisrael. It's revealing the real inner mile of Am Yisrael. Ki kol atzmo shel chashash ze depen yomru eino ba ela legalot, to reveal ki mitziut kvod shamayim ba'olam, the existence of kvod shamayim in this world, umitziut kumam shel Yisrael, and the existence of the Jewish people, hem haba hatalya, they're hinging on each other. Atem edai v'ani kel. Bezman she'atem edai, ani kel. Ubezman she'en atem edai, as ein hapeh yachol ledaber. He doesn't even want to say it. Right? The Sifri didn't say bezman, but it says keshe'en. Ilmalei mikra kosev Yerushalayim. If it would have been a mefresh posting the Shari, it wouldn't have wanted to say it. Amarti yafeh, mashbita menor slicham, lulekas oyev agul. Magor ze, this fear, mipnei ka'aso shel oyev, from what the goy will say, eino ba ela legalot ma'alatam shel Yisrael. Ki mibiladei mitziutam, if Am Yisrael will not exist in the world, en kibyochol, so to speak, shum koach ba'olam. There'll be no koach in the world, sheyuchal litnaged, that can answer back, fight back to what the Ummah So'elim will say. Shel ka'as oyev atzal. אמרתי יפיהם, השביתה מנור סליחם לא לקייס אוגו. הדברים הללו אינם באים לדלק על קדושתם של ישראל. It's not coming to skip over the קדושה of ישראל ולומר, אפילו אם תסלק את מעלתם, even if they have no מעלה at all, מכל מקום הם ראויים לישועה, they should still be redeemed and saved, מצד כעסו של אויב. It's not chas v'shalom, they're worth nothing, but that's the only way that the Goyim should say what they want. And at the Adarab, on the contrary, הדברים הללו באים לספר קילוסם של ישראל, ולומר, מבלי ישועתם של ישראל, if Am Yisrael would not be redeemed and here, אין מקום לכבודו כביכול. So HaKadosh Baruch was not here. Rabbi said this is a murder statement. Ashachan, you here? But like you feel it? Good. It's saying you're a statement, Chavre. Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, if Am Yisrael are not here, you're not here. Because who's going to answer back what the Goyim are going to say? Who's going to show them wrong? Who will represent the HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the world when Am Yisrael's not here? Nobody. There'll be only the Goyim left that deny, which are kafir in your existence. So is it to impress Ummah So'elim that they should be impressed with Hashem? No. But what is it then? So first, look at the Ramban. Rav Hutner says he's taking it from the Ramban. So let's look at the Ramban. The Ramban on the next page of Bax Yud. Yeah, but Yud also appears on the next page? It's half-half? Okay. Says the Ramban, ולקח הזכיר מוישה בתפילוסוי, ואמרו הגויים אשר שמעו את שמך לאמור, והשם יזבח הודה לו בזה, הקדוש ברוך הוא agreed to him, ויאמר השם סלחתי כדבריך. והטעם בטענה הזאת איננו כי רוצה להראות כוחו בין צונם. It's not that הקדוש ברוך הוא just wants to show the goyim how strong he is. כי כל הגויים כעין נגדו מאפס ותוהו נחשבו לו. That's not the point, to impress the Ummah So'elim. But it's something deeper. Aval, look what he's going to say here. It's Mamash Ramban to remember. Hashem bara et ha'adam b'tachtoinim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created man in the world. Sheyakir et bo'o. v'yodeh lishmo. Man was created to acknowledge Hashem, meaning the world was created to acknowledge HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's a famous Zohar HaKadosh. Anybody remembers the Lashon? Lo yivu alma ela lishtamadei. Ishtamadei, how do you say in Aramaic? To lakil. Okay, it's something along those lines. V'sama reshut biyado l'ra'on latif. Man has free will to do bad or good. V'kashechatu b'rtzonam v'kafru b'kulam. When everybody sinned and denied him, umas ha'olam, lo nishar rak ha'am hazeh lishmo. There's only one nation left to represent him. U'pirsem ben bo'otot u'muftim. Because Baruch pirsem. What does pirsem mean? Publicized. Miracles. Yitzias Mitzrayim. Ki hu Elokei Elohim v'Adonai Adonim. V'noda b'zeh l'kol ha'amim. Through what happened to us, through Yitzias Mitzrayim, through Matan Torah, Hashem got known to the whole world. V'hinei im yashuv v'yabed zichram. Because Baruch is going to now annihilate them, chas v'shalom. Yishkachu ha'amim et hatotav et ma'asav. V'lo yisupar b'hem. No one's going to mention him anymore. If there'll be one guy that will say, once there was a nation here, it was some kind of witchcraft. The purpose of the world will be nullified. They won't acknowledge the existence of Hashem. Not that Hashem's powerful or not powerful, if He exists. You see? The Ramban underlined it. You see Harav Kaduri? It's underlined. Okay? The Ratzon that started this whole Bria. שיהיה רצון בפניו להקים לו לעם כל העמים, כי הם קרובים אליו ויודעים אותו מכל העמים. The whole Bria was created to acknowledge HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that could only be done through the Jewish people. Just 1 second, please. Only through the Jewish people. And if they're not going to be here, the purpose of the Bria will not be accomplished. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu and everybody's saying. How do they bring you out here? By the nisim that you did to them and the Torah mitzvahs that you gave to them and the fact that they're living their lives according to your will. These are people that are representing you in the world. But if you're going to get rid of them, so you're not here. And the purpose of the Bria will not be reached. What was the purpose of the Bria? Let's define it again. What was I say? What was the purpose of the Bria? What was the purpose of the Bria? Let's define it in English. To acknowledge Hashem. Rabbi, so you remember who says this like a Klor? It's a Zohar Kodesh, but if you're not into Zohar, the famous Ramban at the end of Pasha's Boy. You remember? The whole Bria was to acknowledge Hashem. Why does Hashem need that acknowledgement? Nachakasha. We're not going to go into it now. But that's the Metzias. If the Jewish people are not here, who's going to do the job? Going to go to the bar and drink beer and get drunk and get up in the morning? They're going to do the ones? They're going to do their job? Who's going to show that you're here and that you're a Metzias in this world, that you're covered in this world? It's only Am Yisrael.
So what was the Hagman of Hashem to destroy the Eden and start different nations?
Maybe, like that. What was that? That's always a question. Why does HaKadosh Baruch Hu know what Moshe is going to say? So why does Moshe have to daven? Okay, it's a kasha, the whole thing of tefillah, right? Good. So it's not saying, yeah, they're good for nothing, but it will be chil Hashem. Don't learn the pasuk that way. That's wrong. That's Hashkafa Rishonah calls it Ruvot there. They're really gonish, but gonish. Whatever they do is worthless. But if I get rid of them, it will be chil Hashem. No, chas v'shalom. They're the only ones through their Torah and mitzvahs who bring me to the world and represent me in the world. And if they're not going to be here through their Torah and mitzvahs, atem eidai va'ani ken. What does it mean, atem eidai? You are my witnesses. What do you mean you are my witnesses? Witnesses for what? What would you say? What would you say? Then Hashem is here and we keep His mitzvahs. Meaning, that's the edus that we give. You remember the big Ayin and the big Dalet and the word Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad? We are witnesses. How are we witnesses? by our existence through the Torah mitzvahs that we keep. But if we're not going to be, who's going to do it?
How does that fit into the opinion of Yadei Roma?
If Am Yisrael not here, no one's going to acknowledge Hashem. Everyone's going to say that Hashem doesn't exist and they did it. They're going to attribute to themselves.
Why are we going to say Yadei Roma that we got rid of Klal Yisrael?
Yeah.
It's not saying anything about acknowledging Hashem.
They're not going to say I did it. They're not going to say it was a decision of mine. They're not going to acknowledge me, period. That's what it's saying. But person, does anybody want to answer according to this? What does it mean? Whoever Soini Yisrael, Soini Misha Omar V'Haya Olam? Why did Rashi call HaKadosh Baruch Hu in that name? Come on,
That's
Chavah.
the whole point of the world.
The whole point of the Bria, Misha Omar V'Haya Olam. What does that refer to? The Bria. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Look at the Ramban, that last sentence. Look what he said. 2 lines before then. You know what the last line in Bakshiyot? V'al ken ra'ui midin harotzon shaya b'brias ha'olam. That very same rotzon that existed when the world was created. Meaning, why did Hashem create the world? That rotzon to create the world. That rotzon is the same rotzon that Am Yisrael should live forever. She'er rotzon l'fanav lakim l'am kol yamim. If someone's going against Am Yisrael, what is he claiming? He's saying he's undermining one of the foundation of the Bria. Because the Bria was made, that Am Yisrael was Bria. The first Rashi in Chumash, what does he say? Rashi's born for what? Rishul who? Yisrael v'Torah. The whole thing started because Yisrael. You want to wipe out Yisrael? We're telling those guys. You want to wipe out Yisrael? You are wiping something which is the foundation and the cornerstone of the whole Bria. That's, in fact, that was the kickoff of the Bria. So isn't it appropriate to say Misha Omar V'Hayayim? Gewaldig, guys. You see how everybody's smiling? Look around. It's gewaldig. Misha Omar V'Hayayim. It's going down to the foundation of the Bria when you want to get rid of Yisrael. Because Yisrael are here. The Ratzon of the Bria, says the Ramban, that a preliminary Ratzon that started everything from Ephes, that's the Ratzon that Am Yisrael should be around. You want to kill Yisrael? So you want to kill something which is the foundation of the whole Bria. You're fighting against what HaKadosh Baruch Hu had in mind when he created the world. Misha Omar V'Haya Olam. Okay? Harav Kadurevich, מה אתה אומר? Gewaldig. Rabbi Yosef, you want to say something?
On that basis, therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will never destroy them.
Am Yisrael, never.
How much Am Yisrael sin?
So HaKadosh Baruch Hu punish us, but never destroy us.
Never destroy.
Never destroy us. Now, let's go into this a little bit more, because what you're raising, which is very good points. I just want to maybe bring out the point a little bit more. Let me play devil's advocate. Maybe what Rashi means when he says in 3 places, if you fight Yisrael, you're fighting HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not directly, but like if you start up with my son, you're starting up with me. Indirectly, you start up with someone very close to me. So you're starting. If you do an assault against someone very close to me, it's an assault against, but indirectly. If you say nasty lashon hara about my children, you are starting up with me. That's how you may learn it. By the way, there's such a maral. Rabbi said, let's look at, there is such a maral. Give a look in Bakshid Aleph. This is again one of the most misquoted Gemaras that exist. Why is it called Har Sinai? Shemisham Yarat Sina. Right? How does everybody understand it? How do you understand it? Tell me, like, off the bat. What do you think? Which Sinai are you talking about? Between whom and whom? And the Klal Yisrael and the rest of the world. Anti-Semitism started there. We hate the Goyim hate us. It started from Matan Torah. Do you know that's what the Gemara means? It's not speaking about Klal Yisrael and the Umas Olam. It's speaking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Umas Olam. Now, as a result of Matan Torah, there's a sina between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Umas Olam. Nothing to do with us. Absolutely. Give a look at them all. And Baksidal. Midbar Sinai, She'alda Sina l'Umas Olam Akrish Hashem. That's the Gemara. Perush and Baksidal. Ki HaTorah Yamala Elyoina. Torah is the highest thing in the world. It's close to Hashem. If you distant someone who's very precious to someone, so he's also distancing the one who loves him. The Torah, which is something so beloved to Hashem, when the Goyim said to the Torah, we don't want you, if you say reject HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Torah, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that's something so close to me, so you're rejecting also me, but it's indirect. It's indirect. You might say that's the same thing with Yisrael. It's not so far-fetched. If you reject the Torah indirectly, you're rejecting Hashem because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so close to the Torah. If you fight the Jewish people indirectly, you're fighting Hashem. Says the Maral, no, it's direct. Give a look what he says in this week's parsha in Bakshut Bet. Ha'omed keneged Yisrael ki lo omed neged HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'hainu mipnei sheksiv. Here's a pasuk in Yeshua, which is everybody quotes this pasuk. V'chisu eshmeinu min haaretz. Yeshua is davening to Hashem after the chet of Achan, and they're going to annihilate us. Matos l'shimcha gadol. He's pointing out what exactly won't exist by Hashem if Am Yisrael is not here. So till now we said in a very general word, if Am Yisrael is not here, Hashem's not here. You want to be a little bit more specific? Let's be. Matos l'shimcha gadol. Kishem Hashem nikal Yisrael. The name of Hashem is Chalam Yisrael. It's not indirect. There's something divine about Am Yisrael. There's something of HaKadosh Baruch Hu on us. What is it? Shimcha Gadol. Rabbi said the word Yisrael, it has the word El in it. El is the name of Hashem. Shitev Shmo, the Chazal said. We spoke about this morning in Prague. What, maybe Yishmael also has El in it? Yishmael has an L in it, and Yisrael has an L in it. Tell me a chilek, guys.
The Tzeri is under the Ein.
No. What's the chilek between Yishmael and Yisrael? Be labdonim for a second. Yeshivish. Be Litvisha Yeshivish.
Shmuel is
Okay? Tell me the chilek. It's nice, when you speak love in Yeshivish, if you have a hoarse voice, it will help. Ich meine, ich will sagen, es ist ein ganzer Chilek zwischen Yisrael und Yishmael. Es ist nicht dieselbe Sache. It's anders. For was? Yisrael says there's something divine about Yisrael. Look how it started. Yaakov Avinu fought Malachim, like he's equal. There's something divine about him. Yishmael means Hashem listened to him, but nothing divine about him. He davened to Hashem, Hashem listened. And Hashem is divine. Doesn't say Yishmael is divine. HaKadosh Baruch Hu listened to Yishmael. Very nice. Does it say that there's something divine about Yishmael? No, the Maral says this. And that's the chiluk between Yishmael and Yisrael. Yes, they both have the name Kel in it, but there's a big chiluk.
Yes,
Is the Kel of Yisrael, meaning there's a Kel in us, and Yaakov Avinu therefore could fight Malachim? Or Hashem heeded the cry of Yishmael? Which is very nice, but it doesn't show there's anything divine about Yishmael. Hashem heeds the cry of everybody. Okay? Beseder? That's what look what he says. We say it in Yom Tov. Ata v'chartanu mikol ha'amim. Everybody together. No, okay. Did you notice we say 7 things there? I'll tell you the truth. Before the Niggun of Kabach, I never noticed it. I'll tell you the truth. I said Ata v'chartanu on Yom Tov. Then came the Niggun of Kabach, and you notice it happens a lot. The Niggun of Kabach is a perish on the words. I'm serious. It happens to a lot of people. Ata v'chartanu mikol ha'amim. Or half the sonu. Let's see some V'amatanu mikol ha'shanus. V'kideshtanu mitzvosecha. V'ki'aftanu malkeinu avdosecha. And what's the last one? V'shimcha ha'kodol v'ha'kodesh aleinu karasa. Grada, a side point which we're not going to go to now. When you say, V'amatanu mikol ha'shanus, who? Hashem. V'kideshtanu mitzvosecha. Who? Hashem. V'ki'aftanu malkeinu avdosecha. Here you add the word Malkeinu, which you didn't add in the other ones. You could have said the Kiraf Tanam Avdosecha. Why do you add Malkeinu here? Again, it's a kasha I only noticed once I started singing the Nigun of Kabach. Maybe Rabbi said the Olam will pay attention without it. I needed the Nigun of Kabach to tell me this.
Doesn't that?
I'll tell you the truth. Why can you have to have the second? What's the problem? Why do you have to say Malkeinu?
As I told you.
Okay. The kid that's telling me to do you add anything? Why you have Malkeinu? It's a good kasha. But it's a build up. And what's the highest of the highest? B'shimcha Godel v'Hakodesh Shalom Kosa. His name, which means his Gilui, a name of Hashem is the Gilui of Hashem in the world, is done through Israel. But boys, I want to show you how the Maharal says this in Or Chodesh. Give a look. He's going on the Gemara that says, Balayla lehu nadadash nas hamelech. So the Gemara in Megillah says, Daftar Zayin. You know, Hamelech in the Megillah we know anyway, means Hashem. But here the Gemara says it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, had a sleepless night. Nadadash nas hamelech. That's what it says. The Gemara in Megillah, Daftar Zayin. Says the Maharal. Why? What happened? What? Again, of course, it means so to speak. So to speak. What do you mean HaKadosh Baruch Hu had a sleepless night? What are you trying to say? Look what the Maharal says there. Hamaseh shel Haman magia l'Hashem Yisbarach. What Haman did, what he wants to do, it has to do with Hashem. Ki Haman ha'rosh ratzah labed Yisrael, v'Yisrael bevad nikru bonim l'makom, ki hem ha'alulim. Again, Ila v'olul means creator and those who are created. Mito Yisbarach betzem rishona. V'im ein Yisrael, im ken en al Hashem Yisbarach shem Ila. If Yisrael are not here, this HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not called creator. Tal mi yeh nikra shem Ila? Who will be called the Ila creator? וכבש אמר יהושע, והכיסו שמנו מן הארץ, ומה תעשה לשמך הגודל? ולכך כתיב בלילה הוא נדדה שנס המלך, מלך מלכי המלוכים. There's something risking HaKadosh Baruch Hu's kingdom in the world. ואף אגב תכסיב, הנה לא יונו ולא ישן שום מישראל, he doesn't sleep anyway, אבל הוא ישם מן העבר שמד ישראל. Meaning sometimes HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, doesn't respond, when there's העבר from Yisrael, so to speak, he doesn't respond. מכל מקום, כאשר הגיע הדבר הזה שהוא עיבוד יסוד חס ושלום, if it has to do with חס ושלום the annihilation of עם ישראל, ודבר זה נוגע על השם יזברך, לכך נדדה שנת המלך. כי על השם יזברך שם אילה, מצד ישראל שם אור. It's dangerous business. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, is saying what Haman's doing is risking my malchus in the world. I cannot turn a blind eye to this. I'm going to have to do something. I will have to intervene. Nadadash nas hamelech of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because what's happening here is a direct assault on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what the Maharal says in Or Chodesh. In Bakshi Dalet, Rabbi said there's a few places he says this. We'll just see a few of them. Give a look at Bakshi Dalet. Rayazo mi Yeshua, vi bekam makom es B'Srael. Kogom b'nesiv avoid the perek Cheskel. Shim chas v'shom yasek klaya b'Yisrael. If chas v'shom HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to annihilate Am Yisrael, u'ma ta'aseh l'shimcha HaGodol? V'chi yeh nikra shmo HaGodol al eitzim v'avonim? HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name will be called on wood and rocks? Or Umas Oilam? Who's going to carry his name? And this he says over and over again, Rabbi Yisrael. Over and over again. Rabbi Yisrael, look how the Ramban says in the Baks Tezvav. Rabbi Avraham Omar, that means the Ibn Ezra said, Ki lo tzeti otam eretz Mitzrayim rak b'gavur eshkon b'seicham, because I want to dwell amongst them. V'zeh tavdun edelukim al har hazeh. Says the Ramban on the Ibn Ezra, v'yafeh pirash. He compliments him. Yesh b'inyan sod gadol. There's a big side here. Ki kefi pshat adobar. The simple understanding is Hashchina b'Yisrael tzarech hedyot. HaKadosh Baruch Hu dwells amongst us for our sake. V'lo tzarech gavoa, not for his sake. אבל הוא קניין שאומר כוסו, וישראל אשר בך מספר. ואומר יהושע, מה תעשה לשמך גודל? ופסוקים רבים, בואו, כן. You see what the Ramban said? Shechina b'Yisrael is not only tzorech hedyot, so to speak, a million times, tzorech gavoya. What does it mean, tzorech gavoya? No, that's not so much. It has to do with the HaKadosh Baruch Hu's malchus in the world. The malchus of Hashem in the world, so to speak, is hinging on Israel. No, anyways, Rabbi said, let's conclude with the medrash that we learned many times together. It's a mitzvah lefarsim, because tonight we're going to say to the one in Iran, to Nasrallah, to all the Yamach Shmoinikim. Look at this medrash. I don't know why it's not more known. It's a medrash that I would frame it. I'm serious. Esther Rabba Zayin Yud. Omar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu Haman and Rasha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Haman and Rasha, Ei shoyte shebu olam. You're such a fool. You want to destroy the Jewish people? I tried a few times to destroy them. HaKadosh Baruch Hu talking. And I couldn't do it. שנאמר, הפסוק בתהילים, ויאמר להשמידם, לולי מוישה בחיר עמד בפרץ לפניך, להשיבך מסע מהשחיס. ואתה אמרת להשמידם גלעבד? I tried to kill them a few times, I couldn't, says Hashem. So you could do it? You could do what I can do, you could do. I said, not even a verse. HaKadosh Baruch was saying nothing less than the following. I tried a few times to destroy them, and I could not do it. So you could do it? Is this Matos Oyuvanara? I thought HaKadosh Baruch could do whatever he wants, no? Can HaKadosh Baruch do whatever he wants? So what does it mean? I tried to destroy my cunt. And it goes on saying, Chayecha, I promise you, you're going to be killed instead of them. Even L'Shivzu, they're going to be saved and you're going to be hung. Rabbi, can Hashem do whatever he wants? So what does it mean? I tried to destroy the Jewish people and I couldn't do it. And again, the Medrash says the word kibyachol. What does kibyachol mean? So to speak. Fine. So we'll say also kibyachol. But what does this Medrash mean?
If they're not there, I might as well not be here.
There's one thing HaKadosh Baruch can't do.
Destroy himself.
He can't destroy himself. We agree on that? Destroy Yisrael is destroy myself. I can't do that. That's my boy said that's what this Medrash is saying. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu said that to Hitler and to Khmelnytsky, whatever they all these and you're trying to accomplish something that I can't do. It's not shaykh. If I cannot do it, you cannot do it either, right? I'm God, you're not. Hashem Kibyochel cannot destroy himself. He will not destroy Yisrael because that to some degree is called destroying himself. And I cannot do it. So you could do it. Huh? Haman, you're such a fool. Just look at the Jewish people in their history and you'll see it cannot be done. Yes.
So how do you answer the question of why Hashem tried to destroy himself?
What was the Havamina? I don't know. What was the Havamina? Moshe Rabbeinu brought it to the fore. That's what Tefillah does. But how? Why? I don't know. That's not. Rabbi Ari asked that question before. What was the Havamina?
He wants to push it to start
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
what that means.
whatever that means. But Amati Afet Mashpita not even through Moshe Rabbeinu. Right? It's nothing with Moshe Rabbeinu. What was the Havamina of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Good kasha. I don't have a teretz. But I understand that's a kasha on any kind of tefillah. Why do you have to daven? Hashem knows. So what are you davening for? Okay. So Abai said, but this Medrash is like Chevra. You know, guys, be'emes Chevra. When we say in Havdalah, Hamavdi ben Kodesh l'chol, ben Or l'choshech. What is that? Hamavdi ben Kodesh l'chol. Is there a difference between the Koisel and Brent Street? Yeah. A clear difference? Is there a difference between Or and Choshech? Ben Yisrael la'amim. That's the chiluk between Yisrael and Amim. What's the chiluk between Yisrael and Amim? Our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu is something so different. 3.5 דקות to 2.5. Okay, let's speak. Is what's so special being a Yid? I sometimes ask my Hasbro boys. Tell me, what's so great being Jewish? Ask your children or grandchildren. Ask them. Tell me what's so great being a Yid. Tell me. So they make a joke out of it. Cholent. Okay, fine. What's so great about being a Yid? This relationship with Hashem. Why? What? Explain to me what? It's what? That's not so great about being a Jew. The chesed? No. That's not the answer, Rebbe. What's great to be a Yid is our kesher with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's it. It may manifest itself in a million one ways, but let's call a spade a spade. It's about our kesher with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Ato echad, v'mishimcha echad, v'mikamcha Yisrael go echad. what we learned today. That it's intertwined. It's the rutzin of the bria. That's the rutzin to be making Yisrael. Our kesher with HaKadosh Baruch Hu is something which is not found by any ummah v'lashon. That's like he took us out of Mitzrayim. He gave us. We came out of Mitzrayim. He gave us the Torah. He gave us prophets for over 1,000 years, and and we're always the immortality of the Jewish people. That's what it's about. We have this kesher with Hashem that no other nation has. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And this you could explain also to Hezbollah boy. Our relationship with the you know any other nation coming back to their homeland after 2,000 years? Did that happen to anybody in the world? How come all these things are happening only to us? Do you know any other nation that would exist 2,000 years out of its homeland? And Kibbutz Giluyos, the Nevi'im spoke about it. There's something about this nation that there's a secret, and their secret is their kesher with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Atem eidai v'ani kel. בזמן שאתם עדי אני כן, ובזמן שאין אתם עדי אני כן. והכיסו את שמנו מן האורץ, ומה תעשה לשמך הגודל? That's what it's about. It's mamish the core of our identity. It's the core of our identity. Our kesher with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And it's, so to speak, if we're not here, he's not here. Could you say that any other nation in the world? Only about Am Yisrael. It's good to bring out this point. Our kesher with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Goyim said this. I have it home somewhere. Goyim said that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's involvement in Yisrael, in the world is always there, but in Yisrael, you see it's the whole time. It's miracles, miracles, miracles the whole time. By the way, no other nation had a Shoah either. Gam Zenachon. We're davening Marav now. If you want to come down Marav, we're davening Marav now. Okay. Okay, Chavre. This is mamish. Guys, I cannot exaggerate about this point. Make it, Rabbi said, clear to yourself, and then it makes it clear to those that you could help them understand better. This is what it means to be a Yid. That we are here on a mission to represent HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's all what it's about. And no one else could do this mission but us. And that's the reason why we're going to live forever. Okay. Do we have a minyan here for Marav? Yeah? Okay.